Yo! What's up, people? How we doing? What's going on, Nick? Appreciate the love, my man. I'm not sure why the bot does that, like why the bot says that it needs to be customized, because it's already done, but I don't know. How's everyone doing? How we doing? So we're having our first negative week this week so far. Which happens. Took a little loss on this one earlier. I will tell you the exact number actually. Let me get my book. Where is my pen? What have I done with that? In my laptop. What have I done with that pen? Put down it. No, that's a pencil. I do not want a pencil. What the hell? Oh, I nearly fell off my chair. Jesus. I literally had my pen yesterday. Did I put it in here? No, it's not there. Okay. I don't need the pen to read it out, but I do, because that's the pen that goes with the book. Where are we? Here. Okay, so we have, so far this week, using 0.25% risk tolerance, overall 2.25% down. Which is the worst drawdown we've had in a long time. It's the worst drawdown we've had in a long time. Not forgetting that obviously every week prior we have had a positive outcome. We don't care if there's a negative outcome for this week. We'll showcase the results regardless. You can check out the results in here, yeah. Right, see it? So this is, if you're on the Discord and you join, obviously, don't worry about the tickets. 90% of these people are bots. Not all of them, but most of them are bots. So when you scroll down, you'll obviously see the FX replay stuff and VIP things. And again, you'll see the YouTube. Well, you might not see that actually. You won't see this if you're not a VIP, so we'll reduce that. And then you have Orion results, right? Just under the free setups. Orion results. And here you can look at week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4 for January. And then you can also look at week 1 and week 2 for February. So we're currently in week 3. So if we take a loss this week, that's fine. Not really too bothered. Now, the one thing that we're going to really cover in this live stream is something that I think personally needs to be at the forefront of everyone's understanding of what you're doing as a trader in the market. Because myself, these are times when I was in the learning period, I would have changed my way and done something different and put myself on the wrong side of what you should be doing. So what happens is, as soon as you start taking losses, most people start looking at other information to draw in, to look at other things that can possibly work, things that may work, things that may not work, so on and so forth. The main thing, this is the main thing that I cannot stress enough, is you should never at any point doubt the system you're using, right? And if you do, you don't have data to back it up. Okay? If you are a trader, consistent trader, so you trade every day of the week, before you even step into the market, you should have at least a year's worth of backtesting data. At least a year. Otherwise, you're going to be going off of something that you don't have confidence in. If you have a year's worth of data, you will know how many months are off, how many weeks are off, how many days are off, the probability of long-term loss over the space of X. For example, on average, Orion, through one pair, you can have up to a 4-trade losing streak on one pair. So amplify that by the amount that you're trading. So for example, if you're trading 10 pairs, that would mean 40 losses in a row is like one of the maximum points you can get to. Of course, we know the probability of it is low, but it is not improbable. So you need to make sure you understand that principle. And this is why we have to use risk tolerance that reflects the system that you're using. So if you haven't already, and you are somebody that is trading all of the time, go and get FX Replay and start building your data. So then when you have a down day, you have a down week, you have a down month, you look at that data and you say, well, I'm here, so I know that this, and this is to come or could happen, right? So if you are still in that mindset where you're flicking between, oh, cool, I got a really good entry, to, oh, this isn't working, you need to build your data pool. You need to build a data pool. A data pool is going to provide you with the confidence you need. And like I said, we literally have a 15% off code there for FX Replay. If you ever decide to make a purchase, cool, get 15% off. They may even have a better deal on it. If you don't, you can still test a fair amount of data completely free. Yeah, you can still test a fair amount of data completely free. And bear in mind, if you have an essential, package on TradingView, because you're using the 15-minute as an entry, you can go back a fair amount of distance with that as well. So you need to be building your data pool. Build your data pool, and your data pool will support all of the weak points you have. That's why if we ever have sessions and people are like, what trade are you in, or da-da-da-da, and like, I don't care. Like, it makes no difference to me. It makes no difference. It's kind of like looking like, think about your trading system as a story writing machine, right? The story writing machine is your trading system. Does the one sentence not making sense take away the value of the whole story that's being created? No. Does one paragraph maybe not being the best, needing adjusting or needing spellings corrected, does that reflect how well the whole story works? No. So it's the same thing with trading. So don't let yourself fall into that pool of, I must seek the next thing, I must be consistently doing something. If you start, I've said this before, if you start with an account, okay, whether it's demo or not, and you apply consistently week on, week out, you will see the outcome relate to the data you have collected. So just collect data. That's the main thing. Collect the data. It's going to make you more efficient actually trading the system you trade. And it's also going to give you that real, like, consistent mindset. So you see this trade right here? This trade wasn't taken. Now, why was it? Well, very simply, it's one of the discretionary points that we use, which is if price expands from the entry point, or it's greater than 2R from the entry point, then we're not going to trade it, right? We want the gap to open up, price to tap in, then for it to run, allowing us to go BE. If it runs 2R greater than where we're trying to trade it to, probability of it reflecting the entry movement again is very small. And again, we will showcase the outcome of all of the trades that we take, because we don't care if there's a down week. That's fine. Literally every single trade we've taken so far has been a stop loss or a BE. But does that change the approach we take? No. No, it does not. We missed this absolute beauty on gold yesterday. Nearly tapped us in. SMD. What's that mean, my dude? What's going on? Welcome. So we're just waiting for more alerts to come through. Now remember that we did have FOMC last night as well. Today we haven't got anything actually now until 8 hours time. So what's happening, everyone? Hope everyone's good. Remember the system we use. We publicly showcase the results on a weekly basis in the Discord. The Discord link is down below. If you want to learn the system, you can learn it with the content that is provided here on YouTube. Give us a follow on TikTok, give us a follow on YouTube, Instagram, all that good stuff. Join the Discord and you can learn the system we use as well. And again, going back to what I said earlier, every trade we've taken so far this week has not reached our take profit. But do we care about that? No. The only people that are going to be able to tell you that they don't have losing weeks are people that live in La La Land. So here you can see that we barely skimmed that entry point. So it literally came down, missed the order, went, and then we cancelled out when it got above the 2R level. Which is a real shame because we've been calling bullish setups on gold consistently, and we get a really nice one delivered and it doesn't trigger in. So this one right here, this was Friday evening at 9 p.m. and then it triggers in at 9 p.m. Friday, like close. So we're not taking a trade at Friday close. And then it comes straight down Sunday and boom, plays straight off of it. So that would have been a great trade. But again, we're not trading on market close on a Friday. That's ridiculous. So let's have a look and see where we're looking at price to go. So we have another loss here, right there. Again, that's fine though. Like I say, we don't care if we take a loss. The bias is bullish. If our bias is wrong, so be it. The bias is bullish. If it shifts bearish, then we change our outlook, right? Let me just delete this 1 second. There we go. So we're still bullish at the moment. We have no lows. So ultimately, we need to get down to here. Or we need to reach our targets. Now, because we want to trade from lows to highs, then it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to get an entry today. Unless we form a new low. Well, I'm on text. Unless we form a new low right here, and then we run it as a short-term low. But again, I don't think that's very probable. I really don't think that's very probable. So we've got another Trading Thoughts episode coming very soon. Remember, if you haven't already watched the Keep It Simple series, go and watch the Keep It Simple series, the playlist here on YouTube. We're coming back into the 4-hour money out, which means there is a chance that we could see price give exactly what it's given here and sell lower, which is a money out on the 15-minute. Price is beginning to show a slight expansion down now. It's not a huge expansive move, and also that's not a setup that we're looking to follow within the Orion rule set. That's just a principle that can be used if you're applying the money in, money out concept. So we've got these lows right here and this low here. This is a high volume, 2 low volume lows. We come down and take these out. We'll look to follow that long. Like I said, guys, if you haven't already spent time build up your data pool, then make sure you do that. Building your data pool to back up the trading system you use is the #1 thing you can do. Think of all the amount of times you've spent on the charts. You should spend that time back testing the system, right? Instead of hunting trades, hunt data. Once you hunt data, you stop hunting because you see what you have and you collect it. So let's have a look at XRP. So we're bearish on XRP, bearish on Doge as well. Oh, there was also let's have a look at it. We're still bearish here. There was also Pi, I believe it was, which was an asset that Alex was looking at. Here. This is insane, okay? This asset was free to mine and people accumulated pretty large amounts of it. Look at the pricing. The pricing on Monday was $200 and it is now below $1. A very small group of people made a lot of money and they got the hell out. A lot of people made a lot of money and got the hell out right there. So when this does launch, all of the holders that have a lot of holdings, you know, they all had really high hopes for it. Now it's not looking great because the price being around $1, give or take. How many people are going to hold out with that $1 hope, hoping that it goes back up again, or are people going to take even more money out of it? How much is what's that work out at? See, at 140. Where's that? Is there a divide button on the don't look like it. So yeah, that's kind of crazy, isn't it? That's a crazy drop off. We've got everything alerted already. We know what's going on here. Target. Remember guys, if you don't have a data pool already built up around your trading system, FX Replay is the system to use. Or you can of course use other ways. It's completely up to you. The analytics given by FX Replay is pretty comprehensive. I highly recommend it. I can show you some actually. Here. Okay, it's gone here. Let me just log into this. Bear with me. I keep getting notifications telling me that we're getting lag. I'm guessing it's probably right. Okay, so this is a showcase of the completely free version. Again, I'm not showcasing you a paid version because I kind of think that's a bit irrelevant. Most people aren't in a position to buy it. So the free version is the version that I'm going to be showcasing. This is my personal account. We have a pip surfing account. But here you can see the amount of time you've tested, right? The amount of time I've tested overall. The amount of actual time I've spent, and it's mostly spent on Discord, showcasing it to you guys. And you can see the sessions are here. Discord session 2, Discord session 1, and then gold session, right? So I don't think you can actually see. We'll go back to here. So it gives you an idea of what you're looking at, right? When you do create session, you can have a look at the details within the trades themselves. So you can see it there, but it pinged away. Where's the... Can't remember where it was. I saw it. The journal. I feel it was on here. No journal entries. That's definitely lies. I can't remember where the... Okay, so when you do a new session, so for example, and obviously the idea isn't to just rely on this fully, it's there to actually test it. When you get a new session on, you can note down in your notebook, again we cover this in the latest Trading Thoughts video, you can note it down in your book or wherever it is you want, and then you can obviously compile your data. Now once you do a new session, so for example if we go create session, we call it YT live, right? Live demo, and then we'll do 10k because we don't want to go crazy risk on that. Let's do XRP, not XRP, let's do gold. Alright. Initial start date, we'll do it from... again, it doesn't really matter, I'm just trying to show you the... Here, right? Create session. Right. And then you can do this. Back to analytics here. Go back. Right, see what I mean? You can look at the sessions. Once you create a new one, you can look at the sessions. So equity curve, hit rate, hit rate. So win rate, risk reward, the monthly gain, all that kind of stuff, right? And if you're thinking, like, if you're looking at this and you're thinking, oh, this is long-winded, I tell you what's going to be more long-winded is not having confidence in your trading system, right? So get your free version of this if you'd like it, or build your data pool so you have a collection of information so you can follow the principles that you apply on a daily basis and you can see the outcome over a long period of time. It also allows you on here, if you go to the journal, which I believe, okay, all right, for whatever reason, it don't want to let me show that. But once you view the sessions, like I say, you will have a selection of, is it on here? You have a selection of things to look at. So it's always worth having this data in place so then you can actually see the daily performance, like the monthly performance, what the equity curve is. It will tell you also, I believe, what is that? ETC, UTC? Oh, right, okay, yeah. But yeah, it's well worth getting it, right? Now you can get the pro version, and like I say, I will do showcases of the pro version, but I think showing the basic version is the best. Once you get into the session, so you have here, view session, right? You can click play, and it will load it up. Obviously, you're not going to get priority queues because you're using, so you saw that popped up there, multiple partials. Right, and it's going to show you from here. So you can begin to, so here, don't forget you can take up to 50 trades per month, which is pretty good, especially with a system like Orion. 50 trades is only going to be like, I would say that's probably 2 or 3 weeks worth of price data at a time. But this is a completely free version, so it's, you know, it's something that you can change your mind on and you can move it around if you want to. But it's easy to use, super easy to use. If you have, let's say, a trade that you want to take here, all right, here to here, stop loss at the low, for example, as long as you have this like highlighted, so you see it's clicked on, and then you click place order, you see the way it's buy limit, entry price, and it's set where that is set, yeah? So as long as you set your risk, it will set it where that's set. So if I go save and journal, see it sets it up, right? Awesome. So as long as you know how to analyze your system, it will allow you to flick through all of the different time frames. It will allow you to assess what price is doing, where you want to trade it from. Yeah. So let me just see this here actually, 1 second. I gave a gap there, so this on this setup, that would have actually triggered in. Actually, I think we were discretionary against that. So that would have actually tapped in, which is pretty clean. But yeah, again, same thing is just over and over again. Having that repetition, building that data pool. Once you have a data pool, you can then turn around to yourself and say, why am I even stressing? Right. I just sit back and wait for trades to come. Simple as that, right? So I'll show you a couple of speed forwards on this one. So let's change this to 4 hour, and then we can go boom. So it keeps running. Right, so let's pause it. Pause. In here. Okay, go back down to the 15. That's our entry levels. So we've got that as an entry point. Again, it's not really an ideal trade, but if you click on this, you click orders, boom, there you go, beautiful. You can put your notes, you can take a screenshot, awesome. Does it all automatically for you, and this goes into your journaling. Yeah, so remember what I said before. If you don't have data to back up what you're trading, you're going to constantly spend your time flapping in and out of the could I, should I, would I, blah, 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 blah mindset. Yeah, you don't want to be in that. So again, hits target before it comes back down. Cool, we'll get out of that. The reason that flicked like that is because we're doing 4-hour segments. So on a 15-minute, it's showing 4-hour segments. Let's go back to a 4-hour. So we're going to get another one right here. Go down to the 15-minute. Change this to 15 just because we're on the lower time frame. Let's just play it. Okay, so nothing running there. Let's go back to the 4-hour. Making sure that we're consistently tracking what we're seeing, right? Right, that's closed out, so we've got another low. Not getting carried away by hunting trades, but by analyzing and tracking data. It's about tracking price data. It's not about chasing after the next entry. What's going on, Andre? Sorry, mate. I can't remember if I said hello to you or not. So run it, right? Nothing happening. So we come back to big, expansive moves. Pause it. We've got a low right here. Can't remember if we've got a low in there or not. No, it doesn't look like it. Right, we've taken this out, right? 15-minute. Entry point. Right? Perfect. We'll go from here. There to here. Yeah, we hover over it, place order. Now as long as we're making sure we're using the percentage risk correctly, then it will automatically set everything else where this is. So just make sure that your orders are in the right point. So again, you can do auto break even on the pro version, which I don't actually use on the pro version anyway, because it's not something that you... I also think that's kind of a bad feature to have, because the fact that you do auto break even sort of takes the weight off of a lot of trades, when in reality you need to be setting that break even, right? So again, do that. Cool. Long. Save. Yeah. Play it. Did that actually tag in? Okay, stop out. Now, if that tagged in there, we wouldn't have gone break even. So you take a loss, that's fine. Yeah. And that's the way you're going to be doing it. On to the same thing, right? So when you take this loss in reality, you don't turn around and say, oh, fucking hell, you know, and this is you talking to yourself, not saying you're saying this to anyone else, but you simply have the same mindset of, right, on to the next one. Yeah, because unfortunately the mindset of I need to find the next setup, or I need to do this, I need to do that, is the killer. That is the killer. Now, of course, the data on this is going to be slightly different to the data that you get across some of your brokers. That's fine. This one here. Okay. Another one. Right there. Place order. 1/4% risk. Yep. Save. Play. Right. Pause it quickly. 2R is here, so we technically are not taking this now. If it comes back down to the low, we're not taking that. Right. Unfortunate. It happens. But what we're not going to do is we're not going to hang on to trades that hold less probability. We're also not going to spend our time worrying about the trades that don't tap in. Like I say, every trade that I've had this week so far has either been a BE, a no entry, or a stop loss, right? But I'm not on the charts now with you guys hunting that next setup, am I? I've got my alerts set. If they go off, they go off. I spend my time showing you something instead that is part of what you need to be having, right? Which is a pool of data that you can lean on and know that that data is going to give you the correct information. So go back to the 4-hour. And you'll notice as well that in these streams, when I do show things like this, the retention's a lot lower because people don't care about backtesting. They don't care about... Again, you guys can't see the statistics, but you may be able to see the view account. I can't see the view account, so I don't know how many people are in it. But they don't care. They want to go on to the person that's trading live that they can follow. You know, they're on to that next signal. That's unfortunately one of the... That's how people are, you know. Free was 8. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying, Andre. 3 was 8. Exactly. That's mad, isn't it? Because no one wants to backtest and gather data. No one wants to do that. And yeah, it's boring. But it's kind of like the paperwork before the exam, you know? Has to be done. Again, I'm just showcasing this, you guys, just to show you how easy the system is to use. In terms of FX replay, I'm not really too worried about doing this actual backtest here. I think we may have even already backtested this time, like this date, in one of the previous setups. Okay, still nothing. Go here, play. Go back to the 4-hour. Okay, right, we've got a low there. Always important to pause. If you think price is running without you and you're not up to speed with it, just pause it. Because one thing you can't do when you're backtesting is rewind. There's no rewind option here. Yeah, you have to start again. So I'm just going to confirm this high. Yep. Cool. Back down to the 15. What are we on now? The 19th. So this is where our setup comes in from the one I showed you. It comes in on this trading session, I believe. Yeah. So stay here. Okay, show my analytics. Right, so we know we took one trade that was a loss. Yeah. That's all we need to see here. Win rate 0, trades taken 1, break even 0. Buys, loses. Again, we know what it is because we took one trade and it didn't work. You obviously have more data and stuff that you can look at. They did actually have before here. There we go. So you can see the trade, you can see the result of it, confidence level. Again, you should have 5-star confidence level in all of the trades. you don't want to be using discretion. Well, I'm not saying you don't want to be. It's up to you. But using discretion means you have to be very level-headed. Now, I know some people are very level-headed and they can do that. But a lot of people aren't. It's okay to have emotions that fluctuate. That's fine. Just know that you can't trade with fluctuations. That's a nice big sell-off right there. Okay, so we have no news for the rest of today. Let me just shut this down here. Cool. Ah. Oh my gosh. Ah. Holy. I said that's one of the best feelings when you stretch and you go lightheaded. I love that. But not so good if you're standing up or driving. So I think what we're going to be looking to do is we're going to look to this. Welcome to the Discord, by the way, all the people that are joining today. Welcome. Make sure you say hi to everyone. Obviously, you don't have to. But we've got all the stuff we need in place, all the alerts and everything, all set. Oh my gosh. I've told you this before. As soon as I start a stream, I'm yawning. Literally. So remember, guys and girls, if you haven't already, oh gosh, if you haven't already, then make sure that you hit that like button. Make sure you give us some love on our latest shorts. We have released some shorts. But because they're from the Trading Talks and the Data Driven Edge video, they have just as many dislikes as they have likes, because no one likes that illusion being broken, right? People here, I've been sold a lie. Fuck this guy. Literally, the amount of negativity you get on real talking content is crazy. Like, as soon as you start giving any kind of real statistics, people hate it. Now, the way this is chop, 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 I reckon that we're going to come up. Bosh. That's what I'm looking for right there. Oh. Jesus. That's bright, isn't it? There we go. Andre with the gold. No, silver entry. Good work there, my man. See that? Good stuff. What's going on, Christian? Welcome. How about XAU? Yeah, so XAU. Let me just change my music 1 second. Okay. XAU. XAU, we had a long entry here. Price action didn't interact, unfortunately. So close to the entry. It met TP, but we weren't in the trade. So now we're looking for this low to give us a run higher. Now we do have quite a big shift, and I wouldn't be surprised if we head over to Financial Juice if we see some form of fundamental driving this price action down here. US initial jobless claims. Nah, that was just wasn't it? No, it's today. 30 minutes ago? Yeah, that's about right. Initial jobless claims, so around here, yeah. So 2 lots of initial jobless claims. Was that even on FX? Oh, it was. I didn't even notice that here. That must have literally just happened when I pulled the news up earlier. So yeah, initial jobless claims is probably the driver behind that. But I'm looking for this. The all-time high again. Yeah. Now I've said this before, and I'll say it again. We've been calling all-time highs for weeks on gold. We've literally just every week, new all-time high. Back to the other setup that we gave before. Was it linked to here? We're calling again long, new all-time high. Go back to the last one that it was linked to. Long, all-time high. Back to the 16th of January. We want it long, all-time high. Yeah? Trade long to the highs. Again, same thing. The amount of tabs I'm building up right now. Trade from the lows into the highs. What's... Okay, yeah. Bullish bias. Yeah, target the highs. And we've consistently been saying it over and over and over, whilst everyone else has been looking for price action to go the other way. We've actually, this is now the third, what is this? This is the 1st of January. Play that. Boom. Beautiful, right? Go back to the 30th of December. I believe we may have been bearish at this point. Oh, we weren't giving. We were giving both sides of the market at this point. And you go back to here. You see the way it took these lows, went bullish. Yeah, hit into these highs, played bearish. So there's definitely a lot of upside momentum still being carried on gold. I don't think that it's going to change direction anytime soon. This one here, we're still long out of here, or we're selling from the highs. It actually gave both. It sold from the highs, didn't come down to the lows, but again, you can see the same thing. So yeah, we've been calling long on that for a long time. Longing for a long time. And again, you can see from the latest one we gave, which was the 16th, yeah. Play it bullish from the lows. Didn't give us the move from here, but it did give us a nice move higher. It's the same thing. I'm looking for it to carry on again. Just because we're having a short-term push, don't think that's a change in character and a shifty-wifty, because I highly, highly doubt that it is. Remember, liquid is the fuel. And if a rocket keeps going up, it needs to refuel at some point. So remember, if you're not following us, TradingView. You're not following us on TradingView, link down below. You can follow us on TradingView, get our exclusive Sunday markups every single Sunday, and you will know exactly what we're looking at for euro and gold straight off the bat. Let's go AU here, because I'm interested to see what we have. Yeah, so AU done an absolute dirty last night. Absolutely filthy. Came down, took us out, boom. Now, actually, is that the high? Okay, so we actually shouldn't even have taken that. but it's an L. An L is an L. Done following, boss. Appreciate it, Christian. Appreciate the love, man. Remember, guys, if you want to share this stream, like it, drop us a little comment down underneath. We appreciate it a million. It really does help us grow. It helps reach new people. Helps them understand the principle that data is always going to be king. And just because you take a couple of losses back to back, you take a winning week, you take a losing week, your data is going to guide you through the uncertain times. And the uncertain times will come. It's trading. I've been there. Take it from my experience. I've been there. I walked away from a 10-year career in a solid industry where I was earning upwards of 50k to do something that I had literally no profession in, self-taught. I had months where I didn't make anything, and then I had months where I made pretty good money. At the time, unfortunately, I wasn't a YouTuber teacher. I'm glad I wasn't, to be honest, because outside influence can really fuel you a lot. But it's always the main thing, and this what I've realised is it's not about how good your system is. It's not about how much experience you have. It's all about what really works. What do investment firms invest off of? Data. What do banks move the markets off of? Data. What does the world run from? Data, right? So collect your data, fuel your trading system, and your confidence will grow with it. So instead of coming to the charts, this is something I put a challenge to anyone that's watching right now. I don't know how many people are in here, but obviously I can see the few people that are in the chat. This is my challenge to you. Over the next 2 weeks, and again, this is a personal challenge. I hope every single one of you takes this personally and takes it as a challenge. Over the next 2 weeks, use a form of backtesting platform. Doesn't have to be FX Replay. Who gives a fuck about that? Don't worry about it, right? If you choose to use that, awesome. But test and gather as much data as you can, okay? With probability of wins, maximum amount of losses. I will also give a link to a calculator, so it will give you how high of a hit rate you have. It will give you how high of a hit rate, what the highest probability losses are, and so forth, right? I challenge you all to do that. Gather as much data as you can on the system that you trade, whether it's Orion, whether it's money in, money out, whether it's a discretionary, but you need to have clear rules that are replicatable and that can be applied on a daily basis. Challenge accepted? Of course, Void. I wouldn't think anything less from you, my man. And when you can provide that data and you can say, here's the data, here's the reasoning for this trading system, here's the rule set for it, then there will be no more fog. There will be no more fog in your vision. The only thing that will be clear is the actions you need to take in the market. And like I said, I could have spent my time in the trading industry renting out Lamborghinis, renting out Ferraris, taking my partner on hotel stays and posting all of this unrealistic bullshit, get myself a really nice affiliate, with a brokerage, and then getting the absolute cream of the crop income through getting people to sign up to a signal service that they're ultimately going to lose money in. But I would not be able to lie to myself and do that. It's not worth the money to fake your own character and be falsifying that kind of thing. And it's also morally wrong, Can you put the link for that? As in the probability thing. I'll find it for you. Let me find it here in a second. What's on there? I need to find it. Or was you on about the backtesting software? The backtesting software, so like FX Replay is there in the link down below. TradingView, obviously everyone knows TradingView. Max loss. I had it saved. Was I using Google Chrome at the time? What's going on, my dude? Hope you're good. Howdy, howdy. It's time to get rowdy. I will find the link for that. Yeah, I'll find it. I will find it. I'm not going to find it right now. I don't want to bore you guys with me staring at the... but I will find it and I will post it in the Discord. So not much is cooking right now, my man. We're looking for a short. I took a little L this morning. We've had like negative week this week so far, but that's all good. Would like to ask for advice of sure. It's fine. I was going to say of course and then said sure at the same time. Offshore. Of course, yeah. Ask away, my man. Ask away. So I'm looking for sells out of this high if we reach the highs. That could have been a very crude drawing if I'd have drawn that wrong. So we're just looking for biases to be met. Okay. So remember, one losing week does not dictate a year, a month, or a given time of X, right? What I can do is I can boot up one of our bigger backtesting session results and showcase to you. Oh, right, where is it? Yeah, so again, it's going to be relatively blurry, I'd imagine. Yeah. But this is 246 days. This is the kind of data we need to collect. This is one pair, 246 days. Look how many trades there are. 62 trades out of 246 days. Yeah. 24 losses, 36 wins, 8 wins in a row, 4 losses in a row. This is just under, 100 days off of 1 year. This is one of the many data collection points that we have collected. You can see here, look, trade profit. So we're looking 60% hit rate. That is not, a crazy high hit rate or anything like that. The net profit is 12,000 from a 10k account, right? Now that seems unrealistic, but the return is 128%, right? And that's a profit factor of 4. Now, it may seem unrealistic, but that's using a 1% risk. So ultimately, if you lowered the risk, it would lower the return. Now, the reason I did that was because the system we were using at the time had a non-decimal risk calculator. So you could use 1%, 2%, but you couldn't use 0.25%. But you'll see here, 0.25% trades per day, which means ultimately you're taking one trade every 4 days, roughly. Levels out to that. Yeah, so that's just one of 8 months worth. I think that took me about 4 hours, which is, you think about it and you go, oh, that's fucking ages. You probably spend longer than that per evening. Well, not per evening, but collectively, on TikTok and stuff like that. AUD looking good for bullish moves. Check. I will in a second, my friend. Christian, I broke up with my girl because she only thinks about spending, and that's bad for me. I feel pressure about it. Can you advise me? Okay, I'll I'll turn the trading brain off, and I'll give you my friendly advice. My friendly advice, and I've advised. One of my friends was recently going through something similar, different circumstances, but something similar. He broke up with his partner of 4 years. Okay. I would like to say I'm relatively neutral grounded. I'm not going to be biased towards you or biased towards her. But I would always say this. Whenever it comes to partners, especially if you live with them, this is obviously going to be age dependent, but generally it's going to be relatively universal. If you, again, you don't have to live with them, but take this as a wide spectrum. Your characteristics need to be relatively similar, but they also can't be exactly the same. One thing that you do need, if you are living together or you're planning to live together at some point, or you have any kind of future long-term plans, is you need to be able to have your mindsets relatively pointing in the same direction. So you have the goal of, we need to do X, right? The one thing I would say is communication when it comes to something like spending is a big thing. If she lives a life where she has never been taught about money, money isn't going to be something that she thinks about in a realistic manner, right? Now, I personally have had partners in the past that will just expect me to put my hand in my pocket constantly, and I did. And it's not until you step away from it that you realise how bad of a relationship something like that can be. Now, one of the main things is you cannot expect somebody to change their whole personality to line up with yours. That is something that you have to assess yourself. And like you said, is it over? Is it like done now? I'm guessing it probably is. Ultimately, you have to be unified. You have to be unified. So if you are a conservative person that wants to invest and you don't want to spend, you're never going to be able to convert someone that wants to spend and not invest across into that same mindset, because they're two very drastic mindsets. One person will do whatever they can do to avoid unnecessary spending, and then other people are going out of their way to spend unnecessarily. So you'll find that you will probably different in many other aspects as well. So in terms of feeling pressure, don't feel pressure, because you have to, exactly the same as a trading system, right? You have to put it on a whiteboard, right? Put it on a whiteboard. I've actually got a whiteboard here. Let me get it there. Now I use my whiteboard, excuse my writing by the way. Now I use my whiteboard for what I'm doing for the day, right? But I used to use it as just a handheld whiteboard to what is the pros and cons of things. Now, I have my little Lucky Toast down here. I don't know if you can see him. He's been knocking around for a little while. He was actually gifted to me by my stepson. But what I would do is I would get the piece of paper, right? Straight down the middle and write pros and cons. And you'll normally find that the cons are always going to be greater in a relationship that fails. Not always, but a lot of the time. And that is where you need to sum up what is going to work best for you. So don't feel pressure for it. You should feel empowered that you've been in a position to make a decision that works. Obviously, if you didn't make that decision, then you haven't been, but everything works in the same way, right? And I always think about it like this. Whether it's a relationship, a job, whatever it may be, everything in the universe happens for a reason. And there may be a negative now, but often it turns into a positive, right? So, for example, one of the things with me, right, is I quit my job, and then I had I would say a year where I didn't earn a huge amount from trading, right? Because I was still in that sort of baby phase where I didn't know anything. But my health drastically changed. I no longer have back problems during that year. I ultimately stopped eating junk food. I changed my not my persona, but I changed my attitude on life and my outlook on life, and that was the positives that came out of not earning as much money as I would, right? So there's always going to be a positive from it. So don't feel pressure. Don't put yourself down about it. Look at the pros and the cons, and I guarantee the pros will outweigh the cons most of the time. And you can always reconcile with the Pip Surfing Society crew. We're all here together. You know, we're not... we don't discriminate. We don't... How would I say? I don't know. But you've got to do what's best for you in any aspect of life. Yeah? Put yourself first. If you don't have your own mindset at the forefront of everything, then what do you have? Yeah. Convert to Islam. Get 4 wives. Doesn't suit you. You got other 3. Higher RR. Yeah. Well, one thing that I will say is that I've had a couple of friends that have been with people that have literally dragged them down into the dumps and dragged them down into places they don't want to be, and changed their life drastically for the worse. So be grateful that you've changed yourself for the better beforehand, right? Void is a funny guy. Void is the Joker of the community. And you'll find him very often joking around. Let me right, let me just check this quickly. Never joke, I speak the truth in funny manner. What, like, GU is stuck like stepsis, right? Yeah. Think about it. Right, now I am focusing on myself. Yeah, exactly. Focus on yourself. That's what you need to do. Focus on yourself, and that's the main thing. Don't ever let someone else dictate to you what your what your morals are. The right person will come along. That's like my partner. You know, me and my partner, we're very different. But we're different in a good way. Yeah, they're all flying right now. New York Open. Got that liquid coming in. Our bias is bullish on AU. GU, we're bullish as well, and it's also pushing up. Gold, remember, we're looking for that bullishness, but it didn't come down to the low. UChef is starting to sell off, but that's fine because we're looking for a new expansive move to the downside. UJ, I think we're bearish, right? Yeah. You live every day, right? Yes, sir. Every day for around an hour, give or take, and then we head over to the Discord. Yep, every day. I'm also trying to think of like a new thumbnail because I'm not sure if the thumbnail gets that many likes. I'm literally talking absolute backwards now. I don't think it gets that many clicks. I don't think the click-through rate's very high on the thumbnail we use currently. Targets on AU, yeah. Targets on AU. Orion's fucking my shit up right now. Oh, Lord. Oh. Okay, we have to go daily here for the targets then. We'll be up there. 1 second. Ignore Orion, it's freaking out. So my longer term target for the daily move would be right there, which is 64290 up here. So it's quite a move. But the reason I'm referencing that is because we don't have any short-term highs to target, you know. If we were down here, we're targeting these. But because we're up here, we now target the higher time frame points. Now, what I would recommend, following the Orion principle, is wait for a high to be placed, then use that as your target. But if you're already in a trade, depending on where you're in a trade from, you can look to hold to the highs or reference some short-term highs over here which have already been hit. So this is the only target you can reference unless we put in a new target, because all of the hourly points have been met. Let's have a look at silver, because I have once or twice dabbled in silver. Is this NJ also? We had some pretty decent setups on here, I believe. Silver. Ew. Bullish. Did we take out any lows in here? Nah. Pinged straight back into a bullish area. So this is what I was saying before, right? You look at something like this, and this is where you can start using the money in, money out concept in a slightly different way. Excuse me. And it'll be taking longs off of the bullish areas, right? And here, and here, following daily bias. Now, of course, not every setup is going to be a winner, but that's not the principle here. I'm trying to show you the case of if you just use these 4-hour areas to aim for like a higher 4-hour structure, or even here, and again, same with this, you aim for here, and same with this one, you aim for here. This one, you aim for this and this, and you meet them. Same one here, you aim for this and this. But I encourage you to do what I said with the challenge. Challenge yourself to gather data, even if it is on a money in, money out basic principle like that. Look at how many times it taps in. Absurd. Absurd. So we've got alerts set up here. We'll know what's going to happen if it decides to run up to there. We're in a bullish on this. Gold, that's not coming down. And that's 100. It's in that area. It's created. Now it might start pushing down again. So this is what I was saying. Same thing, but we're going to follow the bias rather than trying to counter it. Look at the tap into here, long. Taps into there, goes long. Doesn't quite tap, but goes long from there again. Doesn't quite tap, goes long again. Some really clean price action moving in that money in, money out principle. But like I say, show you this in the Keep It Simple series. I showcase the principle and the way that it can be used. And it really does offer some nice potential. But you need to make sure you build up the data around it. Does years in relationship matter? Because we've been 4 years. Already in, got in at the current low. Nice job, FX. No, years in a relationship mean nothing. I personally think, anyway. Gold is up. Gold is up, my dudes. Yeah, I don't think it matters. So a bit of personal history on myself. If it makes you feel any better, my first real relationship, like back when I was a teenager, we were together for like 2 years, and she cheated on me with some other guy that she knew. So that ended, right? And then my second real relationship, I met her in college. We were together for 6.5 years. She ended up cheating on me with someone she worked with. It just got to the point where like she was messaging and stuff while I was sitting next to her. And she's like messaging, and I'm like, "Who are you messaging?" She's like, "Oh, so and so from work," and I'm just like, "Why are you chatting?" Do you know what I mean? You're not talking to me. I'm sitting right next to you. Then who was the other one? I had another relationship that lasted about 2 years, 3 years. She didn't cheat on me, but it got to the point where she might as well have been, because there was no connection between us anymore. And then I've had a couple of on and off relationships from there, but apart from that, I've been with my partner that I'm with now for 6 years. And we see eye to eye on most things. Like, it's very rare. It's very rare that we see things differently. But, like I say, I think that was a kick in the ass. But you move on, don't you? You move on, you grow, you change. It's part of the development. Jesus, look at that. Scorching. Let's get back to oil here. Oil, we're bullish now, yes. I'm waiting for Orion to boot up. It's not even turned on. Yeah. Let's see. AU's flying. GJ and UJ, U-Chef, Naz, Bosch. That's another thing as well, you know. We could spend time looking at this trade here, didn't tap in, and be bitter about it. But in reality, it's literally irrelevant. Exactly the same as a losing trade. It's so irrelevant. Last few weeks, I've been down and I'm negative in my trades. Yeah, but that happens, dude. It's okay to be negative for a week or a month. That's fine. It's fine. Being negative in a... this is one of the scripts that I was looking at to help develop the Orion system. Doesn't help at all because it doesn't do half the stuff that Orion does. So remember, the V2 money in, money out is now available, and we have version 2 release with new elements added in. Those stats you were showing, were they from the money in, money out indicator? No, the stats that you're on about is these, right? These stats are not from the money in, money out indicator. This is from the Orion. This is Orion itself. That's from Orion. So it's using the money in, money out principle, but it's using different attributes, if you were, because it doesn't just follow the money in, money out. It uses certain zones at certain points. Yeah, sure. I mean, I know that Void uses it. Void uses the money in, money out, and he uses daily bias. It's a good little system, dude. It's a good system. Why did you don't do funded? I did a couple of funded accounts. I've got one at the minute, which is like a little tiny 10k, like a baby one. And then one of them, I was with my funded FX, and they changed the broker like 4 times, which fucked me up badly, because the spreads were just unreasonable. They were like, it was like if you got like a standard spread account or you had like a raw account, they were raw spreads, and then they went out to like open up spread accounts. They were bad. So I got slipped bad on quite a few trades on there. And I was using a different trading system then as well. And then I failed the account on the 25k because instead of entering 5 lots, it entered 50 lots. And the second it entered, it drew too much of the equity out of the account, and it said that I breached. Which, again, pisses me off, because if I'd have even had time for the trade to run for like 30 seconds, I would have closed it out. Maybe at a small loss, but I would have closed it out. Whereas they were like, no, you breached it. You took too much equity at once. So I was like, fuck that. I just private trade. That's why I use Vantage FX for private trading account, which is you can, if you want to go to 4% drawdown, you can. You know, they're not going to fucking, they don't care. I do think funded accounts are good, but they are, especially the ones that I've done with my funded FX, they were so hit and miss, it was ridiculous. But we are going to be, once the Orion system is running automated, we're going to have 3 different private equity accounts as well as funded accounts attached to it. And we're just going to showcase it all through that. Because that's the system running automatically at that point. Right, there's just no alerts or anything happening right now. Oh, I'm sorting out my. I've got like a cushion on my desk. I've got a cushion on my desk. I've got a cushion on my chair, right? But it like constantly shuffles towards the edge of my chair, so it's the most fucking annoying thing ever. Frame drops, frame drops, frame drops, frame drops, frame drops, frame drops. Okay, apparently I've got bad internet. So let me get this right. Orion is an EA. Not yet. It will be. It's not an EA yet. So Orion is a trading system. It's a rule set. It's a trading system. And it's based around the concepts that are taught in the Keep It Simple series. So I'll showcase it to you right now. These are the principles that we're looking at. Let's use green, right? So we have, give me the green. Okay, right, cool. So we have Orion, which we're going to make bigger. Okay, we have Orion, which is the overall system and rule set. We then have several branches of this. We have the 3 elements that make Orion. Okay, this is the daily bias, which again is taught in the Keep It Simple series. and that makes up the daily bias indicator, which you see in the top right of my screen a lot of the time. Then you have the core of the concept, which is money in and money out. Okay, and then you have the entry levels, which is again taught in the Keep It Simple series, which is the points within the 4H time frame, right? So you can use each of these principles. You can use the daily bias to establish a more probable move for whatever system you're using. You can use your money in, money out areas to, again, within each point, and you can use the 4-hour points as well. You can use these as individual assets. At the moment, we have this as an individual indicator, this as the money in, money out indicator, and then the entry levels as an indicator as well. Collectively, when combined together, they create Orion. And Orion is going to become, and is in the process of being, an EA, a live indicator, right? And we're going to have account shares on this as well. Oh, I'm so good at writing with this pen. Right? So what you see, my trade setups on a daily basis are the Orion rule set. Okay? And then what you see in the indicator section is the money in, money out. And then the entry points are where we take the trades from. The daily bias is the direction we take the trades in. EA is coming. Live indicator is currently being built. But these are already created as individual assets. So you can see here, money in, money out indicator. This is the money in, money out, like I explained, which is these blocks on the screen you can see. All right, let's get rid of this and get rid of this and this. All right, so it will give you daily time frame. It will show you money in, money out areas. So areas that you can look at a given move, for example. 4-hour, it's doing the same thing. Yeah. And it's going to give you a nice, clear understanding of where the money in, money out areas come from. Then also, if I get rid of this, we have the daily bias indicator, which tells you which direction price is most likely going to travel in. For example, bearish. If I go onto the daily time frame, change the settings here. This is something that's added in purely for showcase purposes. Every box you see, so every colored box, is highlighting a whole day, and the color of that box dictates what the bias was for that day. So for example, you can see we had a bearish bias the whole way down here until here, where we had a bullish bias for one day, and then we've been bearish again since. All right, same as here, we had a bullish bias from this point, and we were bullish all the way up to here until the bias changed here. So there's only like 2 days where you didn't see bias movement play out. Then we have, down the 4-hour time frame, we have the entry levels, which highlights high volume areas that we want to trade from and low volume areas that we want to trade from. And we follow the daily bias indicator for that. Then we have a combination of all of them, which is Orion, that tells us our daily bias, and it also only highlights areas that we are actually going to trade from, and you'll see it in a second. Once it boots up, give it a second, it's like 400 plus lines of code. I know that's not massive, but when the code's optimized and it's always doing something. So you see here, selling from here, awesome, didn't work. Selling from here, too low RR, awesome. Same thing when we go over to gold. You'll notice there'll be a green area right here once it decides to load. Please hurry up. Come on. It is in development, and you see where it says 1000 next to it? That's because it's edition 1000, or there's been 1,000 versions of it to this point to get it optimized. So it shows you the green areas, rewind it, and when that green area appears, which is being very slow for some reason. 1 second. Let me just rewind. Don't want to give a false representation here. Once it loads, you'll see. And it pings us an alert saying buy or go long. But the idea is those green areas will ultimately become the executional foundation areas for the system itself. And it will run with any broker that you attach to TradingView. And it will also run with MetaTrader, CTrader, all those kind of things. But because you can't code protect on CTrader and MetaTrader, we're going to make 3 different equity accounts where it ultimately will be a mirror trading service, but you'll be directly connected to Orion. So if the bot was live and active, it would place a limit order here. It would put the stop loss a small amount underneath there, and it would target the pre-established high, which is here, right? So it gives you that trade, and then it would just run, and it would only protect at 2R, so it would protect around here. Yeah, so around there, it'd be break even now, and it would only take this position out if it reaches this high, or if it takes you out of BE. Yeah, so that's the way the system will work. Bearish change, bias change to bearish there, so it would probably close out here at around 2R profit, but again, that's all going to be formulated in the future. So we have like a whole plethora of things coming from this one system. Then we also have a low risk investment EA as well that we're building off of the money in, money out concept, which ultimately uses this, right? So I'll get rid of Orion. Let's do this. So it ultimately does this, right? So let's just go to a random pair. So I want to showcase it in a real world example. Random pair, let's just do Euro Chef, proper random pair. Make sure there's no... Okay. Rewind to here, and then we'll rewind some more to here. Okay, then we'll ping this open. Okay, we're bullish at this point. Then all we're looking for would be an hourly shift in the money in, money out principle, right? So if we're still bullish, we're just looking for a bullish money in to appear. Right, and you would trade bullish from here, trying to get price action to go into the high. Yeah, like so. So again, it's more of a low risk investment principle, but it works really nicely. It's just a really clean, it's not like high RR, you know, it's like a 1 to 2 return basis, but it's a low risk and it's a longer term trading system. So same thing applies. You would look for another long move to come in there. You trade from this area which just got tagged into, and you'd aim for like this high here, right? So let's just see, does it deliver? Playing around, playing around, playing around. Yes, it does. Awesome. So works really nice. Like just the money in, money out principle being used on a daily principle. So we're looking at our bias on a daily time frame, and then we're using the bias to apply a basic understanding of order flow. Nice. Holy shish kebab. That's funny. Right, guys, this has been the longest live stream we have done in a little while. I hope you've all enjoyed it. I hope you've all found some value in one way or another, whether it's advice on day-to-day life, whether it's understanding the key principles that you need to apply in order to actively be confident in your trading system, whether it's understanding the way that FX replay works, whether it's looking at all of the losing trades I've taken this week, whether it's understanding the mindset and the principle that we really have to apply. I hope you've all enjoyed it. Let me just answer this question beforehand. Boss, do you trade NY session? Honestly, I trade when Orion alerts. If Orion alerts me at 1 in the morning, I trade it. If it alerts me at New York session, I trade it. If it alerts me London session, I trade it. I don't discriminate sessions. But I do discriminate for high impact news and market close. They are 2 points that I don't fuck with. But I appreciate every single one of you. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and of course, show us some love on our latest short content. I will see you all in tomorrow's live stream. I will be going into the Discord tomorrow, but unfortunately, we won't be going in there today. If I get the VIP, I'm in VIP. If I get the indicator, I'm in VIP on Discord, yes? No, they're two different things. But you will get the indicator by becoming part of the VIP. So the other way around. If you join VIP, you'll get the indicator. I need to do an update on the store and all that kind of stuff. So any questions regarding that kind of thing, guys, just open a ticket on the Discord and I will get to you and help you out when I can. But I appreciate you all. Much love, guys. And I will see you all very soon. Peace and love. Enjoy the rest of your day. Trade safe. Always follow Orion. Love y'all.